my name is Jason Toll. I'm an educational consultant with the Center for Teaching and Learning. This is my colleague, Muskan Jaswal, who's our Learning Technologies Rover. And we are going to be doing our first workshop of a series of Canvas for beginners. I don't know if we're calling it Canvas for beginners, but we've got a series this week. This is the first one called Getting Started in Canvas. So those were my introductions, and I did not come up with a more robust land acknowledgement today. I did want to include our slide by acknowledging that we are gathering on the land of the unceded territory of the Silks Okanagan peoples. I do have some stories about our land tour, and which I'm going to be doing in other workshops. Okay, so for our agenda today, we're going to be going through a basic Canvas overview. So Canvas is our learning management system at UBC. It is the place where all of the content for your courses can get stored. There will be opportunities to put quizzes and assessments in there, as well as communications with your students. And we're going to be going over a very high level of all of these features. And again, we're going to sort of go slow. We might not need the entire 90 minutes, but if there are things you have specific questions about, again, please feel free to drop those in the chat or turn on your mics and ask. There's a question in the room.
I was just going to say that on Zoom, they can also use the feature to raise their hand, which is where this wayfinding is here in Zoom, so that they're not just interrupting in the middle. And I believe that Michael is watching for that.
We do have a very handy slide here about wayfinding in Zoom. I'm a big fan of the emojis, so if you want to drop any of those at any time, those would be also noted.
And can you turn on the transcript?
And we'll get the transcript going.
I don't think I have access.
I'm trying to see exactly one second. Yeah, I don't see it.
Do you see it under live transcript there? If you don't have live transcript, it'll be under the 3 dots.
Yeah, I am in the 3 dots, but it doesn't say live transcript.
And you want to start it.
We don't have starting transcript as our option. It needs to be done by the host. That's why we were trying to get that.
I thought that Muscan was logged in as a host.
That's okay. We do like to, so we are doing a bit of an experimentation with our presentation today. So this is as close to what can be called a multi-access presentation. So essentially that means we have participants here in the room with us. We have our audience on the call on Zoom. We are recording, and we are trying to make our recording as accessible as possible. So this is having the transcripts going gives us another level of presentation clarity that we'll be able to use later. Okay, so should we get started looking at Canvas? This is so exciting. Awesome, thank you. So I think we could do this just right from here, right? The dashboard, you're maximized? That looks great. Okay, so this is when you first come into your Canvas, Canvas dashboard is the place that you arrive first. So in our case, we're just going to walk through some of the elements on this interface and see some of the features for how you can customize the presentation of your dashboard. So you will notice that, well, just to break down the layout here, on the left-hand menu, you have your global navigation. And we're going to go through each of those pieces one at a time. But you can see we're on the dashboard right now, which is highlighted on the left-hand side. Now, the dashboard itself, by default, is going to show your published courses. And you can see that we are currently enrolled in 9 published courses. And if you scroll down to the lower level, you can see we also have unpublished courses here as well. I'll talk about how you can publish and unpublish your own courses to get them to show in this way. So we can go back to the top and look over onto the right-hand side. You also will have an extra menu of your to-do items. So anything along the right-hand side is going to be from one of your courses, probably an assignment or a calendar item will appear on the right to-do list. Oh, there it is. The view calendar, the coming up are at the bottom of that column. So there is one little hidden feature though that it's not really hidden, but there are 3 dots up at the top. And this gives you different views of your dashboard. So in the card view, we are looking at the courses presented as a tile, we call it. You can go to the list view, which gives you a more in-depth look at your calendar, your schedule that's coming up, which we have not too much. And what's down further from that? Yeah, this is recent activity. So that's showing announcements, other assignment notifications, and discussions, which is something you might be using in your Canvas courses to engage with students, are some of the online discussions. So typically we'll go back to the card view. This is typically your starting point. There is that other one feature with the color overlay. So each of the tiles can have its own image, but in some cases, the instructor for that course is not put in an image, and the tile overlay is sort of helpful. The color overlay is sort of helpful to distinguish some of those courses. So you can see it just sort of puts a translucent color over the pictures. So let's go look at one of the courses itself. So each of these can be further customized. So we can change the nickname, even though the tile is going to have the course is going to have its own official name. You may want to put in something that's more meaningful or shorter. You can also change the color tile. The color doesn't work very well for people that are not fully color sighted, like myself, but some people like to make a theme or have different color codes. And then you can also move. What was the move feature? So the published courses are presented probably chronologically from when they were created. But again, if you want to rearrange them by moving them up or down the page, you have the move up, move down, move to bottom buttons. Okay, and there are 3 other shortcuts on most of the courses when they are relevant. So you have direct links to your announcements, to discussions, and to the assignments. So those all get you right into the course itself and those various functions. I just want to check in with our online participants, and I wanted to see if there's a question in the chat. And if you are able to follow along in your own Canvas, account. Instance, yeah. I don't know if you could give us a thumbs up or give us some sort of confirmation that you are, as well as watching us, able to log into Canvas yourself. And I will switch our camera to a more close-up shot. So Amber is a staff and is...
She has her hand up there.
Oh, there you are. Hi, Amber.
Hi, guys. So when I log in to Canvas, I get taken to like the page that has all of my employee orientation courses. And then I can get to, can I screen share? Am I allowed to screen share? No, okay. When I get to, the dashboard, when I finally can get to a dashboard that kind of looks like what you guys have, mine's light blue.
Yes.
And I see like all the tiles, but then the minute that I click on anything on the left-hand side, it takes me back to another view where I don't have those tiles.
Okay, so we have figured out what your issue is. So this is a good time to explain that there are actually two instances of Canvas at UBC. So the URL that you should be on is canvas.ubc.ca. We believe, what's the URL for catalog?
Oh, I'm not sure, but all the employee onboarding stuff is on Canvas catalog.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so
when
if you
I
are
go okay. So when I go to the other one, and maybe it's because I don't have any courses, nothing really shows up.
That would be consistent with your with our expectation.
And
It
so
could
then
also be
you
that
might,
you don't have any courses favorited.
any courses, what?
Favorited.
Favorited. Well, I'm brand new, so I probably don't have any courses. Is there a way that I can create a new course, or am I not allowed to do that?
You're not allowed to do that, actually. We do have the ability for you to create a sandbox, which we would ask you to send an email to our help desk. And maybe Michael could put that into the chat, the email for the help desk. And also, can they register for Canvas 101? So can you also dig up the link for Canvas 101 and put that in the chat? So there are a bunch of public courses that you can register for, and we'll try to get some of those for you right now. Janine, you have a question or comment?
I have a question for Amber, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Amber, if you can hear me okay, I'm curious, are you anticipating that you are going to be needing to create a course, or is that part of your role, is to be building out or working with other faculty or staff in your unit to develop some type of online learning space within Canvas?
Thanks, Janine. Yes, so I'm literally just 2 weeks into my position. So I'm a field advisor in the School of Education. So I know that we're going to be using Canvas. And so that's why I'm here today, is because I've used a lot of LMS. I just haven't used Canvas specifically. So I was hoping to get a shell or a course that I guess like the sandbox one that I can play with and figure out how to add and remove and work with the features. So I do know that we will be using it come September for in the School of Education, but I haven't been added to any as of yet.
That's a great idea.
So I will send in an IT request to get a sandbox one.
Actually, it's a CTL help desk request. We're separate from IT.
Okay, I will send it to the CTL help desk.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Muscan, can you show how you add and remove things from the dashboard by using the favorites?
Yes, we're getting to that.
That's further down, yeah. Okay, so let's keep going with the global navigation. I think, Amber, you still will be able to follow this part without being registered in courses. So over on the left side, the global navigation, we're going to look under the account screen. And these are a lot of the settings and features for your own personal representation in Canvas. One of the first things you'll want to check out are the notifications. The more courses you are added to and the more teaching or learning you're doing in Canvas is going to impact the amount of notifications that you're allowed to get. And if you go down the list, you will see a lot of course activities, all the course activities actually, and you can get a notification for every single one. And I'm not sure what the default is, but here with the little bell icon, you can turn those notifications on or off.
So when you click the bell icon, you can either notify immediately, or you can get daily summary or a weekly summary, or have them off. So when they're off, the bell icon has a little line across it. And if you do notify immediately, it'll have a green bell. Okay.
Perfect. Moving along to the profile, you are able to edit your profile. I mean, one of the main elements would be your avatar. The picture that is currently there is just a gray sort of outline or a silhouette. Personally, I like having avatars unique and somewhat original. They don't have to be a face, your own face or a photograph, but this will appear when you're in discussions and gives you a bit of personality or identity in your online interactions. What are the other elements that are easy to add? The biography and the links, anything that you want to put, because your bio will be findable by your students and others that you are collaborating with on Canvas. So it may be helpful to put a little biographical information in there as well. The files section is exactly what it's basically literally what it says, a place for you to store files that you may want to bring into your other classes or share with participants in your online courses. There is a slight distinction because you have two spots to put files in Canvas. You have your own personal file space, which is what we're in now, and then each course will also have its own place to put files, documents, and the things like that. So we'll show you that when we look into one of the course settings. The settings give you a little bit more detail about your name. I guess one of the new, so you can edit your settings by clicking over onto the right. A new feature for Canvas that's been added, I think just this past semester, is the ability to update your pronouns from this page. So you have a pull down menu for choosing pronouns. If you wish to add another email address, I'm not sure we recommend this, but you can choose a different email to do your communications through by selecting default email or adding an email over on the right. Time zone should probably stay Pacific, but some folks are doing international courses and kind of want to be on the same time zone as their students. As well as, I mean, I find this a weird place for downloading submissions and course content, but you do have links over on the right-hand side. So as assignments are being completed, you can kind of come to your settings and download them from here as well. Any changes that you make will just need to be updated with the update settings button. Global announcements is the last one we really want to touch on. You will see these announcements pop up when, let's say, Canvas is being shut down for a little while for updates. I think they get sort of displayed at on the dashboard as well. But if you want to come back and look at what the previous or recent announcements have been, you can browse through that as well. So I will just quickly go through the rest of these items on the left-hand side. So going down the list, we've got our list of courses just in text only. And again, you can see published versus unpublished. And your list of all courses takes you to a more complete list of all the courses on that you are registered for. And here we see the star icon. So these are courses that we favorited. I mean, the longer you're with UBC teaching and adding courses, this list will grow. So that favorite feature is a good way to keep some of your more important courses at the top of your list. I'm not sure there's a
If
comment.
Yeah, so those stars are the ones that show up on the dashboard. So if you unstar everything, you won't have anything on your dashboard.
That is good to know. Don't unstar Canvas 101. That's the most important at this stage.
And then down below, there's also future enrollments for any courses that you will do in the future. So it has a list of all of them.
Is this your upcoming courses for September, Muscat?
No, this is for January. So these are
Oh,
my-
right. That's right. That's
And
looking like a lot.
It's looking sciencey.
Yes, very sciencey. Okay, so that's all courses, and we're going to dive in a bit deeper into the courses in the next section, but just finishing off the global navigation, we're going to look at the calendar, which will automatically populate assignments from your courses, as well as you're able to add other events and manage your time and share this calendar with students as well. I mean, I guess one use for the calendar might be to hold office hours. So if you wanted to put in your office hours for your students, you could add items here so everybody kind of knows and can see that in their calendar lists on the dashboard as well. Canvas does have sort of its own internal email, and so the inbox is where messages can be read and stored and written. I think that works pretty much like its own internal email. There's not much to discuss there. One question I have, do you get an email to your Outlook?
Yes, you will. So if you have your notifications turned on, you will get an email sent to your Outlook, and you're able to reply to that from there as well, and it'll send a Canvas inbox email to the student. But you are not able to add any attachments to that.
Ah, that's good to know. That's where the files section comes into play.
You'd have to log into Canvas if you need to attach anything for inbox.
Yeah. The history is pretty amazing because literally every action that you do in Canvas will be recorded here. So if you're thinking of something that you were working on earlier in the morning, or I'm not sure how, I mean, it goes back really far, but it's like a breadcrumb trail of all the activities. And sometimes if you're not familiar with the finding things in the navigation menus, this list is a more direct route to get to those items. And Canvas Commons is the last one I'll be speaking about. So the Commons, I guess the best way to describe the Commons is it is a shared repository of Canvas stuff. Everything from courses to activities, quizzes. You can almost share anything in that you put into Canvas in the Commons. We will look at this a little bit later. One of the ways that I've seen this used are faculty within a cohort or co-teaching the same course, being able to